Hey everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and try to jump in a little bit early because looks like we got a big and ready right off the beginning. Thank you everybody. That's neat. Got Tokyo, got Sivo Girl. Hey Sivo Girl, Steve Bennett, got Linus, Tokyo again. Roll on G. Hey Roll on G. Emily Smiles. Hey KK. Hey Amanda, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Hey Donald. Nan. Hey Nan. I always smile when I get to see Nan. Hey, Nan, when you get a chance, I sent you a Discord DM. Could you check that for me? Thank you so much. All right, so we got a couple options tonight. We've got Judge Middleton small claims, and we've got Thurston County PPO. So make note in there which one you'd like there. I'm gonna give everybody a few minutes to get in here, and we'll see where we go from there. All right. Got a neat treat for early y'all. My buddy Steve today had an opportunity to meet two great people. Here's who he got to meet today. So how about that? So I started sizing him up, and I started noticing how tall Judge Oakley is next to him. I was like, well, first I want to make sure, is Steve maybe Steve's a little fella, but now Steve's as tall as the rest of us humans. Judge Oakley's just a tall fella, so he stands tall in stature. But that's Judge Oakley there. Steve got to meet him today. Thank you so much, Steve, for sending that picture. And we got one other one for you. So who knows who that is? Let's see if anybody can come up in the comments and say who that is. Let's see. Let's go, Judge Oakley. Absolutely, Roland G. All right, so we got Steve here again. How about that? Then we got Judge Shackelford. So thank you, Steve, again for sending that. It's amazing to see how small some of these courtrooms are. Yep, I think Donald's been there, done that. So, all right. Well, hey, Bodie. All right. Thank you again so much, Steve. Hey, Micah Psycho, it's good to see you there. I'll mess up your name every time, and I apologize for that. Let's go to Thurston County and start the PPO Wonderland.
All right, so Ms. Warren, then you're still asking for this order? Okay, and Mr. Joseph, you're objecting this order?
So yes.
It's up to you.
Yes.
Okay, all right, so we'll go forward today. And first off, Ms. Warren, you're prepared to go forward today? All right, Mr. Joseph, you're prepared to go forward? Yes, okay, I need people to answer out loud because we're recording. So, all right, so you were served August 5th, more than enough time to prepare. What we're working off of is, of course, this petition. And let me just re-review. I've read a lot of things in the meantime, but I think I have know where I am on this. And from you directly.
Yes, I would think, because this is my first time ever dealing with this kind of a situation.
Okay. Well, that's fine. You don't have to file anything. I just want to be sure that I'm not missing anything. All right, so I'm going to start over here with Ms. Warren, ask her if there's anything more or something I should focus in on or anything more she wants to say about this. And then I'll turn to you and hear from you, and I make a decision whether this temporary restraining order or protection order that we issued continues after today or not. And so, so Ms. Warren, what would you like to add or say or focus in on or?
When the additional videos that I had submitted from July 16th, he had come over again to my house after the sheriff's office had called him, letting him know that they were going to serve paperwork. He came and he wouldn't leave. Admitted twice on the video, you know, to the damage he had caused to my vehicle, my property. And I'm just really tired and want this to stop.
So we signed this temporary order July 1st, and then I think we reissued when we were unsuccessful getting service to Mr. Joseph to let him know that this is going on. And then July 16th, were you there for those discussions or
I
overheard?
was there. It was, I had just come out of my house to lock up my gate that I had recently installed to park my car in my carport. And I saw what looked like his vehicle at the entrance of my house. And then the vehicle had pulled out. So I, you know, went about my business and I was opening the gate and then he pulled up. And then 3 nights after that, one of the 12 security cameras that I recently installed shows him driving by as a passenger.
So after the 1st, you mean 3 nights after the 1st of July?
3 nights after the 16th.
After the 16th, so the 16th and July 19th. Okay. And so again, what did you see on July 19th then?
He drove by my house around 3:30 in the morning as a passenger in another vehicle.
Okay, and how did you know it was Mr. Joseph?
You see on my security camera, you can see his head look out the window as they're driving by very slow.
So you recognize Mr. Joseph? And I need to answer out loud.
Yes.
Okay. And it was 3 o'clock in the morning. So drove by on this, what street is that again?
Ruddle Road.
Okay. And so this is after, this is July 19th, about 18 days after serve, or no, 3 days after he was served. Is that what you're,
Correct.
okay. I have an affidavit from law enforcement. They served him on August 5th, not in July. So can you explain what happened on the 16th?
So the first order was issued. So there was 3 orders that were reissued. The sheriff's office had contacted him. I'm not sure if it was on the 16th or on the 15th, notifying him that they had an order to serve and then asking him when he would be home. Which prompted him to come over to work things out. And that's when I called Lacey PD.
Okay, so he came over on the 16th, but you had notification from the officers, maybe by phone, is what you heard through the officers, but didn't have any, I can't say that he had knowledge of the provisions of the order yet.
He hadn't been served yet. And then Lacey PD, I had a copy of the order of the service packet, and they said that they weren't able to serve him. Sergeant Parker, I spoke with him. He's the training supervisor. He said that that was an administrative error and there were new officers and that they should have served him that day. He was at my house.
Right, but August 5th, this court issued another reissuance and then it was finally served. Okay, so. Let's see. All right, and then, so this goes back to what you've relayed in your information. Way back to, let's December, when you first met, December of 2023. Okay, and then, all right, then you detail March and April events and into June. And then the assertion in June, which apparently is that what caused you to finally come into court? Okay, that your vehicle tires, or was it your gas tank?
It
You had a
was
flat
both
tire.
that time.
Okay,
I had come out, so I work from home. I had 10 people in town for a work retreat, and I had one person staying at my house. We had come out the next morning to leave for this work retreat. My tire was flat, her tire was flat. And then there's another vehicle. So if you're looking at my house, in the very front of my house, there's gravel where I was parked. My driveway is on the right. On the left is a walkway to my front door where there is a camera up there that didn't work at the time. And then the other vehicle that had a slashed tire was directly to the left of the walkway. So my car and this other car that wasn't at my house were 15 feet apart or something. But he never crossed the walkway of my driveway. That's the videos I submitted, or my neighbor's cameras. There's another video that was submitted that shows him walking all the way around the neighborhood. And then another video showing him slash the tire on that yellow car and then going back around instead of just walking from my car to that car that we're so close. So that, and then it was like 2.5 hours later. You can't see him in this video, but you can see somebody near my gas tank with a flashlight for an extended period. And that I had to have cleaned out and couldn't start it. Not knowing if there was something in there, but the gas tank was open.
so you took it in somewhere,
To Goodyear Auto.
okay, and was anything discovered in there?
So I had to replace all 4 tires, because you can't just replace one on an all-wheel drive vehicle. This is the 3rd set of tires I've had this year. The friend of mine in my driveway also had to replace all 4 tires, and then my gas tank, officers said, well, if it was open and the cap was loose, it's likely something was in there, but the auto shop said that gasoline eats everything so quickly, they wouldn't be able to tell if there was something in there or not, but that if I would have started my vehicle with something in it, it would have destroyed my engine.
So you had it towed,
Mhm.
okay. All right. Let's see, before I turn to Mr. Joseph, anything else?
Just that this has affected my entire life and my family. I'm a gun owner for the first time in my life, which feels crazy. And I've spent thousands of dollars on security measures and enclosing my carport so I can safely park my vehicle. My boys, who are 16, sleep with hunting knives on every surface in their bedroom and take shifts staying up at night because they want to protect their mom. And I don't go anywhere alone. My friend in the back is domestic violence and MMIP advocate that, assured me how to stay safe. And it's just been terrorizing for months. Don't leave my house, don't go anywhere alone. My IT guy is tracking my location. And it's really scary.
Right? And as far back as, let's see if I can see here. You're asserting that as far back, at least April, he said, stop messaging me. Prior to that, saying sort of needed space, not interested in dating in March. Is that about right? Okay, finally by April. All right, here now. All right, so Mr. Joseph, hear from you on your response to this request for this order. That's why I asked first off, if you objected to this. And so now's your opportunity to kind of respond to this petition and the information filed. And if there's anything I should know about, I presume, not to issue this order.
Most of the story, let's say, is true to some degree. But I don't believe that it is all true.
All right. Tell me what you think. I won't know unless you tell me.
Well, we met in December, and I thought we had a good thing going. I did do something that was wrong. Um, I did lie to her about my situation, um, but it was ultimately true. It's just that it's the details that someone didn't want to see or hear. And so she did say, "Hey, Jesse, stop. I want to take a break." And I took a week off to, kind of let things cool down. And then so I reached out, just
You
to see.
know about when that was? When you took a break?
It was a week. So I thought it was April.
Okay,
So I took a week to stop calling, and let her get her situation in order. And the thing was is that I cared about Erica, and I cared about her kids. And so when she told me her story, I understood her story. She told me one of her boys had OD'd or had overdosed or something. And so I really took care, to her situation. And so when she said she wanted a break, I got it because of my situation and because of her kids. And so I was like, I'm gonna back off. But then she just kind of like, I don't know, she just kind of just cut me off and just didn't talk to me or anything. And I was like, well, what's going on? Like, this is, I don't understand. I get you're upset at me, but I'm still concerned about your kids and just you and your well-being. And so it kind of put me in a situation to where I'm like, well, what's going on? Like, I'm kind of lost in the dark, and then I feel like I've been betrayed in some sense. And so I was upset, don't get me wrong, but I'm not doing anything to anybody's gas tank for sure. That's not something I'm doing. I did slash the tires, but the reason for that is because I feel like she lied to me just like I lied to her about her relationship. And so it kind of worked out that way. I actually didn't get the call from the officer until August 4th. Um, and he actually served me that morning on the 5th. And so that's kind of that. But I'm not here for malicious. I wish you just talk to me like a civil person, like just sit down and talk to me and see if we can work things out. But clearly it was over her head, or she's not capable of doing it. I don't know. But that's what happened. And I do apologize for the things that I did. I did slash the tires because I was jealous because her partner, or whoever this person is, that spent the night, I just felt like, why even take the time to reach out to me? Because I didn't initiate the whole dating thing. I kind of was sitting there chilling by myself, and you came to me. So it is what it is. I'm here to just kind of make peace, move on with my life. Things have changed, so I'm just trying to finish this up. If we gotta make peace, and if you want to give me an order, then give me an order. But I'm not here to be aggressive to her kids or her. Maybe her vehicle, yes, but I'm not here for that. I work at a children's hospital. I have 2 kids of my own. I'm not here for all that. Like, that's not. I just want to communicate with the person that I thought I actually enjoyed their time with and spent time with. And that's what I'm here for. And I just wanted to communicate with her that she did not want to communicate with me. And it leads to a bunch of chaos in your own mind. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm here for. And I'm here to move forward. So like I said, yes, I'm gonna deny the order, but if you extend it to however long the person. And
so April, you thought we're taking a break. I'll get a hold of you in about a week. And then after that, you felt like you were cut off. Did you have any other conversations, texts, phone calls, anything after that?
I
break?
text her. I kind of give her my text, like it's like, hey, how are you doing? And then just to show like that I actually care. So I would send her songs or something of that nature. But nothing where I'm not gonna hurt you, I'm gonna hurt your kids, none of that. That's not what I was sending.
Okay. So then, all right, so I think there's an agreement there that there was things left, and then June 25th, didn't do anything to the gas tank, but you were jealous and you did slash the tire. And then what about the allegations of coming by 3 o'clock in the morning, July 19th, driving down Ruddle Road,
This person,
someone else driving, you being a passenger?
no, I don't recall that. I usually pretty straightforward doing something.
That would have been a Friday. Or maybe a Saturday morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm not sure. All right, so that you don't,
No,
recollection,
yeah,
or it
I'm
didn't
not,
happen?
I don't, no, solo, I'm usually a solo person, I don't.
Okay. Just re-reviewing information here. If I have any other questions from anybody. I need the file there. Stuff.
And I wish, also, because her son did contact me. And we had a conversation, and,
You know when that happened?
I'm gonna say it happened sometime between. Can I use my phone? Sure. Uh, July 21st.
So he texted or called or,
Yeah, yeah, at 2 a.m.
all right. And did you respond or,
Yes, yes, I did.
okay, all right, so you, since that time, have you been having contact independently from the 16-year-old?
No, that was just the one time. He was curious kind of what was going on, and I was also curious about what was going on, and so we kind of just talked a little bit, but
Okay. All right. All right, so Mr. Joseph, Ms. Warren, I am going to continue this order. It's going to be for a year, and it means, Mr. Joseph, that you don't contact Ms. Warren or the kids. Now, Ms. Warren, you're going to have to talk to your sons. They're old enough to kind of text people and call people and go see people. You're going to have to talk to your sons about this order, that it includes them and that you're the one who says who they have contact with. And you have to make sure they understand that don't put, Mr. If whatever their feelings are as to Mr. Joseph, don't put him in peril by contacting him. Mr. Joseph, if you get further texts, phones, they drop in whatever from the kids, you gotta take yourself away from that. And so count on you, Ms. Warren, to kind of police your kids.
I
So,
did, I tried to keep his last name secret for months and months and months, and they saw the third order, and
they're pretty, they're 16-year-olds.
right.
Yeah, so scoop them. All right, so Mr. Joseph, then I'll write up this order. It's not going to change from what the temporary order was. Let me pay attention to this, and then I'm going to turn back to both of you and kind of explain things. And you'll all have a copy of this.
Can the order be for longer than 1 year?
At this stage, I'm going to issue it for a year. There is the possibility, if you feel you need it to go longer, you can apply to the court within 3 months of it expiring. So this is August 19th, so starting third week in May, you can ask the court to reconsider. And then kind of the burden shifts there to Mr. Joseph to prove that there isn't going to be any other unlawful harassment. And then the court would have a hearing to determine if the order should go forward farther. And you would be notified, Mr. Joseph, and we'd be back here again. Let me pay attention to this real quick, and I can answer questions as we go. So, this mirrors, Mr. Joseph, you just stay away from the kids, stay away from Ms. Warren, don't in any way, in person, through family or friends, social media, in any way. Stay 1,000 feet away from wherever she lives, and so now we know that going down Ruddle Road, stay away from Ruddle Road, try a different way to get across town. And will expire August 19 of 2025 unless Ms. Warren asks the court for further hearing to discuss that, and then you'd be given notice and we'd hear some more from you as well in the same way that we're doing it here. All right, so I'm going to make or have my clerk make copies. There'll be one in the court file as well. So if you wanted to wait for a copy, you can, or you can be on your way and access it from the court file. Ms. Warren, would you like to wait or not?
I can wait until. it's
Okay.
sent or whatever it is, and I'm just wondering, can I get a transcript from today or something for the civil case for the damages?
You can contact the court after today and get that. Mr. Joseph, do you want to wait for the order or just, okay, we'll get that done here pretty quickly. Need like Elizabeth or somebody else to take care of it for you?
What was that?
Elizabeth or somebody else take care of it for you and we can move on?
Try one more time.
Okay,
We'll see what.
and otherwise maybe make another arrangement so we can keep moving. Okay, Mr.
You're out of toner. It's not work. I'm sorry.
So if Elizabeth can take care of it or somebody
Yeah.
else can, that would be great.
Go out there.
Yeah, just let's get that taken care of and let these people be on their way.
I'm sorry.
And then let's make a plan for everybody else. Yep. We're sort of waylaid here. Okay, so Ms. Warren, by coming on up here and getting your copy, and then you can be on your way. And then Mr. Joseph, once we have your copy, I'll just ask you to wait 5 minutes so that Ms. Warren and her friend can clear and you won't have to run into any trouble bumping into each other. All right. So, come on up here, Mr. Joseph, and grab that order and then just stay in the courtroom till 10 to 10. If you would, that'd be great. Thanks. And then I'm going to take up number 4 on the calendar. There's only one party here.
Which one?
Number 4. So Ms. Pope, you're still there? Ms. Pope.
Yes, I am.
All right. And can you start your video?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Is it working?
There you are. Okay, and so we don't have Zachary Garner with us, and I also see that Ms. Wren is not present, and I don't think I see that you were able to serve her notice of today's hearing.
Correct. I gave the Lacey Police Department all the documents. I asked them to serve her, and I called at the end of last week. They still hadn't. So I'd like to get a continuation or an extension.
Okay, we can do that. So we'll just reset a date and then let's see, about 2-3 weeks. Do we have some? See if I can. Let's do 3 weeks because I'm not sure this happens. 9. All right, so Ms. Pope, you're gonna have to have Mr. Garner here. So he's gonna have to make arrangements. It's September 9th in the morning. That's a Monday.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, so and that gives you enough time to work on getting service done. What we'll do is in the court file, there will be that notice of hearing, and then you need to be sure that Ms. Ryan gets a copy of your petition, this new notice of the hearing, so she knows when it is and knows what you're saying, so she can respond. All right?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, and if that's it for today. Thanks.
Thank you, Emirates.
You can leave the meeting. All right, Mr. Salento, why don't you come on up to a table there? And Ms. Morgan, you're on Zoom. There you are. All right, so this is case number 24268, and the court's issued a temporary restraining order against you, Mr. Salento, on behalf of Ms. Morgan. And it looks like you got all that just on the 12th. Actually, I'm just looking in here what we, who was that? Sherry Gordon gave you, looks like the temporary protection order and the notice of today's hearing. Did you also get the petition that was filed? All the
Yeah, all
information?
the documents in the yellow
Okay,
file.
all right, so that was the 12th, so last week.
Yes.
And let me put you both under oath so we can get started. So raise, I'll stand up with you, Mr. Salento, since I've got you raising your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right, have a seat. And Ms. Morgan, just stay seated so I can see you. Raise your right hand with me and unmute. You're gonna have to unmute.
Okay,
Oh, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
yes.
Okay, so, Ms. Morgan, are you still asking for this order against Mr. Salento?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Salento, do you object to the court issuing this order?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so I'm gonna hear from Ms. Morgan.
Okay.
And as you kind of watched before, and then I'm gonna turn to you and hear
Yes.
from you. And the decision here is should or shouldn't an order issue after today?
Yes.
So, and I'm looking from screen to screen because I've got my electronic file here and I need to do that. I am listening.
Okay.
I just need to look at everything. Now, Mr. Salento, you did not file anything recently that I need to look at?
No. I didn't know
Okay, so I'm not missing anything from you. All right, let me just refamiliarize myself with what I looked at the other day. The rest of the, on the, yeah, so in case you have to dash off, I've got everything. Yep, thanks. All right, so Ms. Morgan, what would you like to say, focus in on?
I guess I pretty much submitted everything really. I just feel, like uncomfortable and I'm worried and I have children. I want to make sure I'm protecting.
Okay, so you're worried and uncomfortable. What are you worried about?
Going to work. I never know. I mean, he got told by my job that he can't come back anymore and I don't know if he has or not since then because I've been taking some time off. But I went to Safeway the other day not knowing he worked there. And then it's like half a mile, if that, from my current job. So I went there for my lunch and I was followed back to work. And I had to go into like another parking lot and
Okay,
wait for
let
him.
me back you up a little bit so I understand. What are you worried about?
I just feel like I'm being followed and stalked basically. And I'm getting the weird texts. I'm just worried for my safety.
Okay, and is there something in the past other than this? I mean, you've been acquaintances for a long time, it looks like. Anything else that would make you think that he's gonna harm you or your children? Or your property or?
I mean, the text he sent about children who lose their moms at a young age makes me, scared. I know that,
How did you take that text? What did you think that meant for you?
I kind of took it as like a threat,
Okay, a threat to maybe do what?
maybe to hurt me or,
Okay.
just the idea of me of bringing up my kids and saying or bringing up children and saying motherless kids or kids who lose their mom at a young age, specifically sons, which is what I have.
Right. And then, so, as to your children, you said you're worried about them. You need to protect your children. How old are your kids?
7 and 5.
Okay. And you're worried about what there?
Just the potential of anything, happening to me or happening to them at all.
All right.
And then
And so-
also, sorry,
Go ahead.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Even at my old job, like 2 or 3 years ago, he would come through there and it was just a drive-through coffee stand. So I didn't think, much of it then. But then all my coworkers there were like, no, he only comes if you're here. And then the fact that he somehow found the doctor's office that I work at. And yeah, it's just very unsettling. And it's
Can I ask
a lot of
that
stress.
where you work now? Is it, obviously you have to come in a building? Are you in a front desk? Are you in the back? How does that configure?
So
Where are you?
I'm in the back and I'm in the back. So my coworkers are the ones who really see him coming in.
So folks who are coming to the doctor's office, they're probably either making an appointment, coming for an appointment. Is there any other service or something that someone off the street would just come in and it would be sensible that they just come off the street into that office?
But no. And
So you
he's
haven't- Or you're
not a
making one? There's not any products that are being sold outside of having an appointment or anything of that nature.
no.
So you either have an appointment or you're making one. Would that be fair to say? Okay.
Yeah.
And so remind me what brought you into court? What was it that finally had you file?
So
August
for a
6th.
while it was more like, I guess, spaced out the times that he would come into my job. And then I would say a couple weeks before I filed, I was getting like a text almost every day. He had showed up to my job like 3 times within 1 week. And then when I was being followed back to work, that's what really set it in stone for me. I was like, okay, I feel like I need to protect myself at this point. And it's making my coworkers uncomfortable too.
So that was when you went to the Safeway unknowingly that Mr. Slunto worked there to get your lunch, and then you saw him, he saw what happened at the Safeway?
So I didn't notice until I was going back to my job. I was like turning around the roundabout to go out as he was entering the roundabout. And then I went faster to go into another parking lot and saw him turn into ours. And then it was after that I had the thought, maybe he works at that Safeway. And then my coworker was able to verify that he did.
So you went into the Safeway, but when did you see him first?
I didn't even see him at Safeway. I didn't notice he was there. I saw him on the drive back.
All right. And Like you looked at each other or what? From each are you in your own car and you're passing
Ye-
each other on the road?
Yeah, I looked like just casually over, not expecting to see anybody or him. And then when I looked at his car, it was like he was staring straight at my car and at me.
Okay, in a roundabout. And then thereafter, you said that he followed you back to your job. So tell me more about what happened.
So I was in basically there's a parking lot behind the one I originally park in. So I could see that he had pulled into our parking lot, the normal one. And I had to sit in my car, and the doctor that I work for had to come and grab me so we could walk in the back way. And then by the time we got back, they checked the parking lot and his car wasn't there anymore.
Okay. And throughout this, so you said 3 times at work you got phone calls. Did you get any other or texts every day to you personally?
Yes.
And that was around when? This summer? You
Yeah.
filed
I would
beginning of
say
August.
end of July or mid-July to beginning of August.
All right. And then what were those texts about?
Is it okay if I pull them up really quick?
Yes.
Sorry, I just didn't know if it would end the video or
So you
not.
put them all in your petition. Are these the ones you're talking about in your petition or they're?
Yeah,
So you're the one that got away and hope to see in the next life. And then the ones that concern you, children who lose their mothers at a very young age become the best womanizers. As well as multiple texts where he's quote unquote admitting to harassing me and bugging me and calling himself crazy. So all of those, there aren't any others, but those are the ones you include in your petition. Okay.
yeah. And then
All
I
right,
don't
that was-
I don't know if I included the one. He sent another one, which all the texts were before he was served. He hasn't contacted me since that. But he sent one. He loves Jesus, so go to the father of your children and make sure you give your kid a dad.
Okay. And then you said 3 times a week you've gotten a phone call at work or?
No, he just walks into the job.
Okay, comes into the job and then, so you haven't had contact with him because your staff or the people at the front have dealt with all that
Hmm.
and sent him away?
Yes.
And in all this texting at any time, did you say, stop, knock it off, don't text me, don't call me, anything like that?
I didn't. And when I originally called the non-emergency number to make the complaint, the cop I spoke to told me since I hadn't replied yet, it would probably be a good idea to just not. I didn't really want to give the idea that I was getting the texts, if that makes sense.
Does, don't encourage anything more is probably what you were advised,
Yes. Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yes.
All right, and so what you want is Mr. Salento not to contact you in any way
Hmm.
and to stay away from your children.
Yeah.
Now, before all this started happening, like you said in here, I think you've known each other since middle school, was it?
High school. Yeah. I was friends with his little sister for a while.
Okay, so you knew, all right. So was there a period of time since high school that you just never heard anything and then it starts coming up, or has there been constant?
Yeah. I mean, up until recently, the past month, it's been very spaced out. I could go, months without hearing him. And that's also part of my concern is I just feel like out of nowhere, the contact is like escalating to a point that it never has before.
So you've been out of high school 10+ years?
Hmm.
That's it. That's a yes?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay. And so in that 10+ years, how often do you think you heard from Mr. Salento in a way that either you wanted to or didn't want to?
Mm, probably like 5 or 6 times, I would say, until this.
Maybe once every other year on average, and then this really piped up. Okay. You have a better understanding. Is there anything else you want to say or tell me or let me look at before I turn to Mr. Salento?
No, I think that is all.
Okay, all right. So Mr. Salento, I'd like to hear from you if there's anything my decision here is, does this issue order after today or not? Is there
Okay.
anything you want to say?
Honestly, this decision is actually up to Lizzie. If she really does want this to be happening, then yes, I have no problem with that. The only thing is the few things that text message, how did I get a number? That's the one thing I'm questioning of. If she didn't want me to text you, then why did you give me your number? And if so,
So when did that happen? How long ago do you
2 years
think?
ago,
Okay, 2 years ago, you had some contact
Yeah.
and
and then originally, the reason why I kept texting, I never got a response from Lizzie. Did not know it was her. I thought she gave me the wrong number. I never got a response from her. Never got a
Okay.
name. I even asked you, looked at the text, hey, John, this is Lizzie, and never got a response.
all right,
That was the wrong number. So I was messing with the person. Didn't know it's actually Lizzie. So, yeah, that's why the text was that way. 'Cause didn't think it was another Lizzie. Thought it was some random stranger just messing with things, one of her friends,
okay.
texting, So, and she
Has
did.
that
this.
happened before that with Ms.
Other number?
Morgan?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
with Ms. Morgan in particular, that
What do you
one
mean?
of her friends was messing with you,
No.
impersonating her.
Well, no, I don't really know her friends. I don't really know.
Okay.
But the number, I didn't know it's her number or not. 'Cause I don't
All right.
know. So that's it. But honestly, like I said, if she wants this, you give her peace of mind, set it.
Okay.
It's okay with me. And then
All
stay
right.
away, blah, 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 and all that
Okay.
thing. Some peace of mind, her children's peace of mind, blah, 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 blah.
Okay,
And we can all move on.
all right. So
Up to
showing
you.
it at the workplace
No, yeah,
repeatedly.
well, I guess I can't have that coffee place anymore, but yeah, sure, we need to set the
Okay.
coffee or that bar. That's a good bar, by the way.
She's at a doctor's office. I'm hearing that you're showing up at, coming in. and-
Yeah, that's the thing is, I was trying to get insurance to get a doctor's, because I know that particular hospital doctor, you have to have insurance.
Mhm.
So originally, I was actually starting to see if I can get a doctor's, my own personal doctor. So I was asking about insurance from Safeway. Do you guys accept? That's originally where how it started.
Okay,
Going there, wondering if I can go to a doctor's office. So,
all right.
but I won't go in there, and I guess they don't even accept patients anyway. So there's no reason for me to go there.
So 3 times a week for,
Yeah, well, it's the inside story, that one. Well, 3 times a week. The first time they told me, hey, we'll check in on October. And they said that opening in October. So I came the second time because I forgot to write down the website. So then after that, the third time they told me to go away. But then I just,
Okay.
because that third time, I thought, okay, I just want to make sure you guys are accepting patients and they won't accept patients. So.
and so you're still do you work at
I
that
still work at
Safeway?
Safeway.
Okay, so then, all right. Right, well, Mr. Salento, Ms. Morgan, I will be issuing this order after today. It'll
Okay.
continue. Ms. Morgan now knows that you work at that Safeway, so she'll still steer clear of that, so she doesn't put herself in any kind of peril, because you're asking for this order, want to protect yourself and don't go to places that Mr. Salento is, and then Mr. Salento, what this means is you stay
Yeah, away
away
from
from
her,
her,
everything,
so
yeah,
don't
yes.
contact
No.
her in any way,
Oh,
not
yeah.
through family, not through
Yeah,
friends,
I
not through
know, yeah.
social media,
Yeah,
not through kids, stay away from her work, that you
Oh, yeah.
now know where she is working, and all right, I'm gonna write this out. This is gonna be in effect for until August 19th of next year.
Okay,
Ms. Morgan, you have the opportunity, if you feel so inclined, within 3 months of it expiring, so sometime after May 19th of 2025, if you feel you want this order to last longer, then we would need to have another hearing, give Mr. Salento an opportunity to be present and speak to that. But if not, this will just expire on the 19th of August in 2025. And let me just write this up. I'm gonna give you a copy, or it'll be in the court file and you can access it
I'll
that
get it
way.
today.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me get this done then. And then I'll turn back to both of you, see if there are any questions, but just give me a moment here. And this will look just like the temporary order that was issued.
Hey, Mike Osiko, I didn't know if they had any Piggly Wigglies over on the west coast over there in Thurston County. I wonder if we got anybody in the chat that knows anything about that over there, what they might have over there. I'm going to jump over to Judge Middleton does some small claims today, and he had 2 cases over there that was interesting. This guy here kind of weirded me out. I kind of want to lock my doors now after watching him a little bit. He definitely was creeping her out, and the one guy before that, or it's just odd to me how some of these guys are. Let's jump over to Middleton. He's got one about mechanicing and one about a porch, so that's where we go there.
Still here. Some involve construction and some involve other matters. So let's go to Angelica Jackson and Tavari Jackson versus Douglas Paul. This is file number 241194. It is a claim for a vehicle that was purchased. The plaintiff is requesting $5,779.04 regarding this. So first of all, let me explain to everybody that's here what we're doing. Small claims is a separate division of the 3B District Court. District Court has jurisdiction of civil matters up to $25,000. There's a special division called the Small Claims Division where the court has jurisdiction for up to $7,500. In small claims court, neither party is allowed to have an attorney. There is no formal record being made in small claims court. There is no appeal from small claims court. We don't strictly follow the rules of evidence or procedure. We can take hearsay in the form of letters or affidavits or other things. But once we begin, there's no appeal. Any decision in small claims is final. Either party has the right to remove the matter from small claims to the general division of the court. You have to tell me before we begin. Ms. Jackson, are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
And Tavari Jackson, you're there also?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Paul, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's go back to the on-base version of the complaint. He was very dishonest with me what was wrong with the vehicle. It turns out the vehicle has major issues. And it's about all I know. All right, so there's a number of other pages attached here. Ms. Jackson, you purchased a vehicle from Mr. Paul?
Yes, sir.
And what was it?
It was a Murano Nissan. It's a 2009.
Yes, a Nissan Murano. How did you come to find it?
Marketplace.
Was there a warranty regarding this sale?
Yes.
What was the purchase price of the vehicle?
$33.50.
So you bought the vehicle for $33.50. Do you still have it?
Yes, sir. It's
And you
fine.
believe he owes you $5,905?
So that was the first estimate for the transmission, because it's the transmission. There's a second another estimate. It's 4,346 and 60 or 86 cents. The
So
reason why
he has to pay you more than you paid for the car, and you get to keep the car, and there was no warranty on the car? I'm not
Well,
sure
when
I'm
I-
following your logic.
when I filed, they told me there was not going to be in the court, like they said it's going to be hard for the judge to basically ask to get their money back and me return the vehicle. So the reason why the car, it has a lot of mileage, that's for a new transmission. For a used transmission, it's 4,346 and 86 cents. The reason why I said for the first one is because the mileage on the vehicle is chances that the engine can give out. He never stated that anything was wrong with the transmission. Found that out on my own. Because when we purchased the vehicle, we took it on the highway. We already had the vehicle. He had his the money already. We took it on the highway. It started slipping. So I tried to reach out to him. He never responded. So finally, we parked it at home, took it to AutoZone. They told me it was the transmission. That was first, the first person that I took to look at it. Second was another mechanic. But this mechanic, he said there's a lot of codes are coming up for the transmission. But unfortunately, I don't work on transmissions, but I'm getting a lot of codes for the transmission. Finally, the third person, that's a transmission shop. They said the transmission, no good, completely no good. So this is the estimates that they had.
So you took it to Earl's Transmission Service in Grand Rapids, is that correct?
Yes,
All right. So basically, you want him to put in a brand new transmission in this used car you bought. I'm trying to determine how many miles on it. I don't know if I could find that anywhere.
it has 216 and 888 miles. Which when I seen the vehicle, the picture on the vehicle that he put on Marketplace, it showed way less mileage than.
All right, well, how many miles did you put on it?
Just bringing it home and well, put mileage on my vehicle to go get the car, brought it home. That's in Wayland, and then just brought it to the shop. So AutoZone, I brought it to the shop, and both of my shops are connected to each other. I have not drove the car since. There's no driving in the vehicle at all. It's been parked for almost 2 months after finding out the transmission.
All right, Mr. Paul, you're also under oath. What's your story here?
Yes, sir. I had made an appointment with them and they were an hour late. When they did arrive, their car was kind of in disrepair. The hood was up and I thought they'd just been in a wreck. But anyway, they did spend 2 hours looking at the vehicle. I had started to tell her about the vehicle, and she informed me that I should not speak with her, that she had brought her own mechanic, and that I should speak with him. So I did and told him everything about it, and he checked it out for, like I said, 2 hours. They went for a long test drive. The vehicle performed flawless. I got ready to consume the sale. She asked him if the mechanic, if everything was fine. And at that time, everything was working. And I'm not sure why she's mentioning something about the mileage. The mileage was correctly stated in the ad to what it was. So I'm not sure where she's coming up with that. I was not dishonest at all. There's nothing there that I was dishonest about. In fact, I asked her, I said, I'm glad you did bring a mechanic because obviously the sale is as is. And the vehicle was in fine condition at the time that that they took off, even though they shorted me $40 and I repaired their hood so that they could leave. Obviously, I'm sorry that she feels this way, but at the time of the sale, there wasn't anything wrong with it, and they drove it fine, and their mechanic gave it the full thumbs up.
All right, Ms. Jackson, anything else you wish to say?
Actually, I do, Tavari.
All right, how are you connected to this?
This is my wife.
Okay.
Then we were together.
Were you there the day it was purchased?
Yes,
Okay,
I was.
very
Sir.
good.
And
What do you want to tell me, Mr.
honestly,
Jackson?
we were not there for 2 hours. It did not take 2 hours. It was still daylight when we left. We got about maybe 10, 30 minutes away. He reached out to him. He never answered, never returned the call. Honestly, he
was the first
was the first person
to drive the car.
to drive the car. He was in the car with us when he test drove the car. He drove the car. Then he had my brother-in-law. He knows about cars. He drove it back. He said it seemed good. We even had to stop at a gas station for 10 minutes. Because it started
Why was
slipping.
that?
It started showing the
You-
slipping.
You said when was that or why was that?
Yeah, so it already started to show slippage while you were test driving it?
Yes.
No,
Okay,
no,
did your-
after we purchased it. After we purchased it.
Oh, on the
we had
way
to
back,
stop.
you had to stop.
Yes. on
Did
the
your
way back.
mechanic brother-in-law bring a diagnostic instrument? Did he bring the plug-in?
No, but
no.
he said he should have. He said he should have.
And I planned on taking it to AutoZone, but I was never familiar where he was located. I've never been over there, so it was a very long distance from AutoZone. And all he kept saying was, "Oh, basically it's time for you to go because the deers love to come out." And
And as far
And
as
the-
the car goes,
as far as my car and the hood, I checked because that vehicle, the Murano Nissan, has the same engine as my Nissan Altima.
Versa.
Versa.
And as far as him saying, the only thing he told us he worked on that car was the brakes. He said he did
All right,
all the
well,
brakes.
let me stop you right now. You don't have any claim of action. When you buy a used car with 216,000 miles on it, as is, it means as is. There's no warranty offered on a used car, particularly not from a private owner. You brought somebody with you, you examined it, you drove it, he didn't bring a diagnostic tool. You don't have a warranty to sue on. As is means as is. That's how used cars are sold.
He never told
So
us.
I'm
as
sorry
is.
that you bought a bad car. If you go on Scotty Kilmer's website, he'll tell you what he thinks of Nissan Muranos, Nissan Muranos. But you bought a car with 216,000 miles on it as is, and that's what you
Your Honor.
got. Yes, that's
Your
it.
Your Honor,
Yes,
he never stated as is, and it's not in the
it is
post
as is. He doesn't have to state it. He didn't give you a warranty. Warranty has to be expressed. There was no warranty on this car. You bought a car with 216,000 miles on it and it failed shortly thereafter, and I'm sorry about that. But he
Right,
certainly
but he
doesn't have
didn't-
to pay you $5,000 and you keep the car, you get zero.
Can he take,
And I'm
can he take
sorry,
his car back, Your Honor?
that's up to him. You bought it. It's as is without a warranty, and you don't collect anything from him. That's how it works when you buy a car from an individual without a warranty. So I
We
find
also-
all right, that's it. I don't want to argue about it anymore. I'm sorry that you don't like it, but that's how it is. You bought a high mileage car with no warranty. It failed and you're stuck with it. And that's a bad situation if it is what it is. Mr. Paul, you're ordered to pay nothing. And that completes this case.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, it's getting to be about that time. I was working on the video today with Judge Fleischer, and so I've got one video that's taken up. It's over an hour right now. I'm trying to whittle it down. It's the one from today, the overdose kid. Man, that guy was a mess. But I got last week's and this week's and this week's together, and it's an interesting case. It shows Judge Fleischer, going way out of his way to take care of that kid. You guys have fun going shopping at Myers and Walmarts and all those other things. It's fun to see where some of these chats and conversations go. Speaking of which, Judge Fleischer's chat today was kind of rowdy. Let's hope tomorrow's going to be a little bit better in the chats. I don't know what happened today, but it looked like it was giving Linus a run for her money. We do have all our links updated. I've been having hell with the Discord links, but we've got it fixed up and got all the PayPal and Venmo and all that stuff fixed up in there. You got Jay's been doing a great job. Roland Green, Linus, and all the other mods that we have. Myco Psycho. Jay's been adding them so fast I can't keep up with them, but they do a great job. And yeah, you're right, Nan. Judge Fleischer was wonderful today. He certainly had his day full of them. But we're going to get that set up, and I should have that video out in the morning if anybody wants to kind of put the whole story together from last week and this week. I've never had one with Judge Fleischer that lasts more than just a minute or two. But I thank you guys, and we'll see y'all tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Thank you so much. And thanks again, Steve, for sending those pictures, man. You are my hero. I really appreciate seeing that of Judge Oakley and Judge Shackelford. Y'all have a good night.